So many people have been saying that this is going to be, kind of a shortened cycle that we're going to top in early 2025. And what people need to understand is that the clock for alt season, the clock for this explosive part of the market cycle hasn't even started yet. And I want to show you guys when it's probably going to begin, what we've done historically speaking, and what you need to watch for. So when we look at what BTC is doing right now, it's had this very consistent trend from cycle to cycle to cycle. And the interesting thing about this is the time frame tends to stay consistent. You guys can see that there is a point where it bottoms. It's typically between, November through January of the year before the halving into the year of the halving. And back in 2011, you guys can see the bottom in November of 2011. Back in 2014, you guys can see January of 15. January of 15 is where it bottomed. You guys can see January of 19 is where the RSI bottomed there. And December of 2022 is where we bottomed during this cycle. Now, the interesting thing is typically sometime either around the halving or post halving is when we have our first emergence of the RSI into the overbought range. And down here, you guys can see that back in 2012 was the nearest it's done it to the halving before. So actually from an explosive movement standpoint, we're about at a similar spot that we were back in 2012. Now, yes, this is in fact happening earlier. It's April of the year of the halving as opposed to November of the year of the halving. And typically you end up having about a year or so post that. But BTC isn't the main driver for alt season. It's what starts everything running. It's what gets assets excited. But Ethereum is really the trigger for everything. And when we look at what Ethereum is doing right now, this clock for Ethereum, this overbought range for it has not hit yet. All right. When we look back here at 2 cycles ago, February of 2017 is when we really got into alt season. It's when assets really started getting exciting. And this doesn't happen, right at the bottom. It's kind of the buildup when things truly do, in fact, get explosive. Okay, you guys can see that right here. Obviously, Ethereum made its first move, but it wasn't until this next leg that Ethereum really exploded. And what happened then was following cycle, you guys can see November of 2020 is when Ethereum started going parabolic. Alts started going through parabolic throughout the space. And this is where you end up having about that 1 year period, right? February of 17 through February of 18. You guys can see here November of 2020 through December of 2021. All right. So this is what we're waiting for. We are waiting for Ethereum to truly emerge and break out here. And it hasn't done it yet. It got very close here back in March. Obviously, assets were running wild throughout the space, but it wasn't quite enough to get over the hump. So now what we're waiting for is this period where Ethereum is in fact going to emerge. And it looks like at some point here in the next month or two, either June or July, is when we are in fact going to have this emergence into the overbought range in terms of Ethereum. What that means is heightened levels of excitement. You're going to see likely higher, capital inflows into alts. And this is going to be, again, that trigger, that start of that timeline. Now, I've been saying that likely this cycle runs until October, of 2025. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And obviously, this is not a guarantee. This is not financial advice. But where things start to get a little dicey is these blow-off tops, this heightened level of optics. Some moves may happen faster. Some moves may actually take a little bit more time because there might be more explosive moves and then longer periods of cool off. This cycle seems to be very different in the way that it's taking place, but the things that are happening seem to be the same. The time frames seem to be consistent from cycle to cycle to cycle. That's why people say, oh yeah, we've topped and we're there. This is it. It's all just basically shit from now. They don't know what they're talking about. We're just getting started. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone. Be prepared, get excited. This is going to be a crazy cycle for crypto. Be happy that you're here now and be happy that you're not one of the late adopters that's come into this space. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.